A lot of people seem to think, again, having a lower ACOS is a really good thing. There's nothing wrong with the metric, it's how it's being utilized. How much of that market do you already own? And how much more do you want to grow into it?
You're poaching sales from someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you'd be quite happy to pay a bit more for that.
Hey squad, quick side note. We know that more than 80% of you are not subscribed. The more people who subscribe, the more content we can create for you. And the happier we'll be here. Hey squad, often we talk to a brand and it'll be a BD call and we're trying to get to know who we are and they will challenge us on our ACOS. And we'll answer the question, but at the same time, internally we're thinking, oh man, this is BS, ACOS doesn't matter, right?
Absolutely.
And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk through why ACOS isn't the thing that you should be worried about, and instead you should be thinking about
TACOS.
Yes.
Much tastier.
Much tastier. So we're going to talk through that really quickly and just explain it. And before we do, I think it's really important that we define the two terms, right? So definition, ACOS, what is it?
It's your advertising spend divided by your attributed revenue. And represented as a percentage.
All right. So it's how much you spend on a campaign divided by the revenue it generates.
For example,
you spend 1,000 and you get 2,000 in revenue, 50%.
Yeah, 0.5, which is represented as 50%.
Okay, fine. TACOS.
TACOS is how much you spent over and divided by your total revenue, organic and paid, not attributed.
All of your total revenue.
Yeah.
All right. So again, same example.
Yeah.
£1,000 spent, 10,000 generated.
Yeah, so maybe only £2,000 of that was advertising attributed. The other 8 was organic.
Organic, and so you have a 10% TACOS.
Yeah, so 0.1 would be the number, 10% TACOS.
All right. So why is ACOS not so important and TACOS is the one you should be caring about?
So it's a misunderstanding of how to use ACOS. I think this is the key thing, right?
Yeah.
We see people using it in a strategic vision conversation rather than tactically.
ACOS is
not a macrometric. It should be utilized tactically at keyword level, ideally.
Yeah. Okay, fine. And so that's kind of like our beef with that question. What kind of ACOS do you get for your brands? We're like, well, it depends. Like
it does. Yeah, exactly. It depends, right?
How long's a piece of string?
Yeah, and that's the other question you get is like, what's a good ACOS? And it's like, well, it depends.
It depends.
Absolutely.
So let's do that. What are the it depends things that you're factoring in, right? Okay, so let's run through those.
Okay, so ultimately, if you're looking for high growth, you're going to tolerate generally a higher ACOS and TACOS overall. But ultimately, it comes down to which keyword you are focusing on and how well you want to perform.
This is what I'm getting at. Yeah, so let's talk about, for example, like, let's use that branded campaign example,
yeah, sure.
right?
Okay, right. So if you're going for your own brand name, you expect a really high conversion rate. So you would probably expect an ACOS of 10% or lower. If you were finding an ACOS of over 10%, you'd probably be worried because it would suggest that a lot of people who were coming in searching for your brand didn't end up
buying something else. Yeah, so you're doing something wrong. You need to find out what's going on.
Whereas if you're going for a competitor term, then you wouldn't expect an ACOS of 10%. You'd expect an ACOS of probably between 30 and 40%. You'd be quite happy with.
Yeah,
because you're
poaching sales from someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you'd be quite happy to pay a bit more for that. Most of the time, though, whenever you're looking for high volume search terms, they tend to be generic. Someone who has not made up their mind on which brand, and then it really comes down to how much of that market do you already own? And how much more do you want to grow into it? And we're talking about an addressable market. We're talking about a keyword or a handful of keywords. And again, if you want to be aggressive and you want to grow into that market, a higher ACOS would be tolerable for a period of time. And then you'd expect to see that come down.
So a campaign's going to be targeting a lot of keywords.
Yeah, exactly. And so how much your overall ACOS is going to be depending on how much budget you're targeting on your branded terms versus generic terms versus competitor terms. And within those generic terms, how many of them are you already performing really well in and how many of them are you looking to grow into?
Fine. Okay, so I know we kind of like pooped on ACOS a lot. It's not a totally irrelevant like metric, right? It is important.
There's nothing wrong with the metric, it's how it's being utilized. And there's a misunderstanding. A lot of people seem to think, again, having a lower ACOS is a really good thing. But
not always.
No.
You may be leaving money on the table.
Well, 100%, because what you're doing is you're focusing on a margin and you're sacrificing growth.
So when should you look at the two of these? Like, let's kind of separate the two out. When is ACOS important?
ACOS should be utilized, as I say, at a keyword, maybe an ad group level.
Yeah.
Definitely shouldn't be looking at a campaign level. Anything above ad group, you shouldn't be looking.
It's irrelevant because it's just there's so many things blended in together at a whole account level. It's not really relevant. Absolutely. It's not giving you the right information.
No.
Whereas when you're looking at it from a whole campaign level, you should be looking at TACOS, right? Because you want to understand how effective is my advertising being overall towards my performance.
Yeah, I mean, look, advertising is all about visibility, and we're not operating in a single dimension here, especially when you consider Amazon. You've got organic and paid, and we know that paid is influencing organic ranking. And what you really should be doing is utilizing your paid advertising to push your organic. And that's what TACOS gives us an understanding is that
over time.
Yeah, exactly. That dynamic between advertising and organic. And over time, if you want sustainable advertising strategy, then you should really be focused on your overall TACOS. That's a strategic metric.
Okay, great. So I think that keeps it simple. I don't want to kind of like hash this on too long, but the key thing we want to say there is a little bit of a confession. If you are a brand and you chat to us about ACOS, as long as it's on a tactical way, amazing. When it becomes at a whole account level, it's pretty much telling you not very much.
It's the wrong conversation. It's the wrong way to be utilizing that tactic. You're just using the wrong tool. It's a really useful tool used in the right ways. You're just utilizing the wrong tool for the conversation.
Cool. All right. Simple, sweet, and super awesome, just like Zamir. All right. So wrap it there. Catch you next week. My love.